people that you not shut it down.
What? Why do you think
Let's walk
that?
and talk, because
that
I think I heard this one.
Why is that 2.5 million, 2.5 trillion sitting on the sideline, right? Why isn't that being?
Oh, I think that I think for a lot of reasons there's no demand, and we have the government should be under an obligation to end the demand crisis. So how do you end the demand crisis with 25 million people unemployed? You don't. I mean, the rich can't buy anymore. The middle class is stretched. So you have to stimulate the economy not from the top but from the bottom. It's like the Works Progress Administration. It's like the Civilian Conservation Corps. You have to stimulate the demand from the bottom. And when you stimulate it way down here at the roots. I'm not talking about lazy people doing nothing. And I'm talking about having to run very efficiently. To get 50 workers, which she needs today. It has to work its way all the way down to county government. So you can call Joliet and say, Joliet, send me 200 people. And they say, here's the voucher. Meet the Deutsch Farm. Meet the Deutsch Farm. Meet the Deutsch Farm. They're all waiting for it. These are all yours. 5, 6, 7, 8. So I was right. 8 rows of corn per combine, essentially, for a combine. Right?
That's the going rate. There's 4s and 6s and there's 12s.
Okay.
But for our operation, we use the 8.
Use the 8. Okay, very good.
And you can see this year hasn't been too good to us. Very up north.
To what do you owe?
Weather, pollination. We had that very hot spell in July. The corn was pollinating. It didn't have the moisture. Too much heat caused a lot of this. The ears should be this or a lot better. Once in a while you get one that took off good. This is terrible. That ain't gonna pay many bills. Things not always rosy.
Now, he says that this isn't good corn. Then what? Okay, so then what next? You had let's just call it a fair to midland season.
Yeah, no bin buster, but we got a crop.
Bin buster.
We're not a bin buster.
Bin buster. Okay, so what does this mean? What does the government do when you have a bad
Well,
year?
that's why we got to rely on the farm bill. A safety net. We've been involved with that. I know they're going to cut, with the budget. They're going to cut direct payments and the countercyclical. But we still like to have a safety net. So I hope you look into that. Okay. Keep that going.
I've been supportive of the farm bill, and I will continue.
And then on ethanol. Ethanol, as you're talking, we've got to rely on ourselves. Instead of the foreign countries. We don't want to buy that oil. We want ethanol to help these cars, help ourselves. And there's byproducts from these.
We've historically shown strong support for ethanol, haven't we, Rick?
Yep.
Statewide and for everyone, and yeah, we're part of that.
And I'd like to let you read this over. I'll give it to Rick to carry around. And we even put a koozie in there.
What's a koozie?
That keeps your
Your adult beverage.
not your beer.
Beverages.
Not your beer.
Okay.
And there's statistics on there.
We need a corn beer byproduct beer.
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. Is Miller a corn product beer?
There you go.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Oh, well, I want everyone to know that even though my brother is in the Budweiser business, he has absolutely nothing to do with me. Okay. In fact, I catch a fit trying to get him to even be supportive of me. He told me. He called me yesterday and said, "I'm with Herman Cain, not you."
And as we're speaking about, with the beer products, we and then we teach kids. Farm Bureau, Will County, we go through about 1,400 kids in March, and we explain what we do. And at the end, they have a pizza and a can of pop. The pizza starts out with dough, and that is wheat product. You can see how the field is green right now. We planted our wheat about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Jesus. 2 weeks ago. I ain't used to a big representative like this.
Listen, I'm not that big at all.
Then with our cheese, that's a dairy product, and the sausage is pork, and back to corn, the sweetener goes into the Pepsi. And that's how we try to promote to these young people, fourth graders.
I'm very impressed with that, and I'm very interested in doing everything I can to help expose more Americans in our area to
Rick?
to agricultural understanding.
And let
It just
in
really
spare
isn't
time you can
ordering
read
and
that.
eating, isn't it?
No,
It really
you gotta
isn't.
know where it comes from.
It really isn't.
Congressman, something that we did this year and we're going to continue to do next year, we had, John Kiefner was here earlier, through the corn growers had a sweet corn plot. We had like 2 acres and we brought to different food pantries. Last year we brought it to the Chicago Food Depository. This year we went to the local food pantries in Peotone, Manhattan, and the local ones.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to be doing the same thing again next year, and we'd like to invite you out when we harvest the sweet corn, so when we take it to the local
It will be my great honor.
pantries. And
It'll be my great honor. In fact, when I was out in Moments the other day with the Johnsons, I told her 2 stories. I told them 2 stories. One story was I like to hunt. I'm not an NRA. I'm not a member of the NRA, but I have my own little arsenal for the day that everything in the world breaks down and I got to defend my land. I understand that very well. And I told her one day I was speaking in Iowa, and there's this wonderful ranch-style home that I was in. I think I might have been speaking for Michael Dukakis or somebody. And while I'm speaking in his living room with this huge bay window behind me, there must have been a dozen buck that just came up behind me. And I lost trail of my thought because I was telling the people that I have stood in a tree for days waiting for this view. And it never happened. So I just wanted to turn around and just shoot out of her window. And yesterday, a couple of days ago, when we were at the Johnsons' properties, we're driving on our way to lunch, and a doe runs across the highway after I told them that story. So everyone looks back at me, and I lean out the driver's side of my car just like this. So we all had a good laugh. So to the extent to which you all want me to come and get rid of barmen, like anything that might be a barman out here,
Coyotes.
call the coyote.
Coyotes?
Is there coyote season, or can you take a coyote out anytime you're alone?
24/7.
Hey, come on now, come on now. So it's really an honor for me to be here because I think I get to keep my shotgun in the back of my truck now. So I didn't mean to. I just wanted to deviate for a moment.
And you mentioned about this farmland and that. Well, about the death tax. We're very concerned about that. You know, right
State
now.
taxes.
State taxes.
I think there ought to be and I'd like you to help me think through some more. I think there ought to be an agricultural exemption for family farmers in that. The idea that guys like Warren Buffett or even Mr. Gates, who has both of whom have very generous spirits, can pass generations of massive wealth, massive unimaginable wealth, and it never work its way back into the system or into the economy, I think you would probably agree is very challenging. It's something we have to look very hard at as a society, given all that's taking place. But at the same time, to apply the standard that should apply to them to you is absolutely unfair. And I agree with that. I want us to strike the right balance on that, but I want us to work hard at arriving. There's no one size fits all on the idea of a state tax. We're talking about some stratospheric people. When we talk about, people with 40 and 50 and 60 billion, we're talking about stratospheric people when we talk about people, with 200 million. That's not what we're discussing when we're discussing an exemption for agricultural workers and farmers who, are seasonal operators.
You're not talking about me.
I'm not talking about me. For years when I buy fresh Christmas trees, she sets them aside for me, and we buy all of our hot apple cider and a large collection of her Santa Clauses
There you go.
in my home. The only sense of it's amazing how my spirit of Christmas really begins at her place, because when you go to her market, it's like, what? It feels like Christmas around here. But I can be home and feel like someone just cut down my bushes and stole my pine tree, and that's not quite Christmas. Who's got my tree up in their house? So I share that concern. One of the commitments that I shared with our Chief of Staff, Mr. Rick Bryant, that I'm going to make is I am going to open up an office. It will probably be in Kankakee. It
It may be in Bourbonnais, it may be in Bradley, but it will be far south. And it will have 2 staff persons in it, full-time. And there will be no learning curve. They will come from you. One of the directors of the Farm Bureau asked me the other day, do you mind if it's an R? Meaning a Republican. I said, well, I'd like them to have been someone who supported me working in my office, but that's not my priority. What my priority is that one, there's someone that you're familiar with, someone that you feel comfortable with, someone that when you pick up the phone and you hear that the Department of Agriculture is on someone's land, bothering them about eggs, chickens, ducks, corn, or something, that someone can respond very quickly from our office, go to the farm, find out what's going on, and find out how our office can be on the side of the constituent. I don't want to call it government harassment because these people are doing their jobs, are on the side of our constituents to remedy whatever the problem is and take some of that heat off. That will be our goal. And that's not going to be someone that comes from Chicago, drives to Kankakee every day, and then gets there an hour and a half later, trying to figure out how to get to. No. Given the vastness of what we're talking about, it has to be someone who can move very, very quickly, and they will come from your ranks. They will come from your ranks, and I hope you'll feel very comfortable with that should I be fortunate enough to be your servant.
Congressman,
Yes,
we
sir.
want to thank you from Will County for coming out and visiting us. And we put together kind of a things we'd like to work with you on in the future.
In full disclosure, I've got to share with you what my new charge has been from the governor of our state. I say this respectfully, so that I have nothing to hide from you. The governor has asked me, with his imprimatur, to send a letter to the home rule municipalities of Will and Kankakee County and send it to their trustees as well as aldermen, and to provide them with a full briefing of the project as we have proposed it at their earliest convenience, meaning that I will go and address their city council meetings and provide them with a PowerPoint presentation about this project. As you know, the governor has said he wants to build the airport as fast as humanly possible for all of the reasons that I've tried to state, and with all of the commitment